What's up gamers, welcome back to another DBD mobile video. Straight up to the point this time. Today we are gonna rank all the killers in Dead by Daylight mobile from top to bottom, based on their relative ability to catch up with survivors and win games. And before we start this, I repeat, this is a DBD mobile tier list, not Dead by Daylight PC or car, whatever you call it, so don't be surprised if the tier list is way more different, because it's another game, right? Anyways, some people make their tier list based on the perks that they use or their playstyle. Some people make their tier list based on the add-on that they use. I like mine to be realistic and to give you a better idea of what is it like to play against all this killer based on my humble experience in the game. And yeah, one more important thing. So in my tier list we are assuming that you play in all the maps, you use a mixture of all the best add-ons on each killer, and you play against average rank 1 survivors, which can be survivor with friends or solo or sometimes something between. Based on all these things, this is what my tier list looks like. Without further, we are gonna start with S, which has the nurse, spirit, and Billy. Nurse. Look guys, there's no reason why I should talk about nurse, because I don't want this video to be 1 hour long, since the budget for this video is so tight, and I do all the montage and the scripting with my mobile device, so it's a little bit hard. You know what? Fuck it. Nurse. You probably played against that Star Trek nurse who finished the game in less than 2 minutes, slugging everyone at the beginning of the game, making you wanna install the app. Yeah, that's the kind of nurse players that we have here. Lucky for us, a lot of people don't play against nurse most of the time, but when they do play, oh god. Moving on to the spirit. Going on against a spirit that have no idea what they are doing, it's like giving a 7 years old an AK-47. But once they got that first hit on you, they open up their ears and learn how to track. You are like 99% of the chance that you are not gonna get away. I played against Spirit almost every day because Spirit is too strong in DBD mobile, and without the counter of Iron Will, you are fucked. Next, Hillbilly. Probably a lot of you will ask me why did I put Billy among the top 2 killers. I mean, come on guys, Billy in the right hand is unstoppable. I played against a lot of main Billies. They were insane. You can never go wrong with Billy. He have all the points that make him one of the strongest killers in the game. He have speed, he have lethality, he have insta-down, and his add-ons is pretty good. So it's not his fault that you bump everywhere when you play Billy. Okay, moving on to the column A. This is when things is gonna be a little bit challenging and a lot of people will disagree. 4th strongest killer in the game, we have the Plague. What about her? She have 2 of the strongest add-ons in the game. She have base kit anti-healing, which means if you cleanse against her, you will make her stronger. And if you don't, you are gonna play with only 1 health stage for the rest of the game and suffer from a perk called Thanatophobia. This killer is just scary, man, I'm telling you. Plague have one of the most strongest chase ability in the game, and that's make her one of the strongest killers. Next, we have the Oni. Oni for me, it's like a better version of Billy. You started the game with 0 power, you need to find survivors, hit them, collect a lot of blood, but once Oni get his power, oh god, expect like 3 2 downs in the same time. I mean, we saw that in that tournament. If you give a good main Oni his power and he know what he's doing, trust me, he will finish the game in like 5 minutes. So yeah, that's Oni. Moving on to the Huntress. The reason why Oni before Huntress, it's because Huntress struggle in some certain map, but in open maps, that's when Huntress shine the most. Huntress mains are so aggressive with their playstyle, even jungle gems and strong loops are pretty much useless against her. If you drop the pellet, you will get hit. If you vault the window, you will get hit. So you need to be careful against the Huntress, because every mistake that you made, every bad decision, it will end up against you. And I know you probably watch a lot of YouTube videos about the Huntress, and you can see like what Huntress mains are capable to do. Moving on to the Hag, the most underrated killer. And by the way, Hag is the last killer in A tier. So what about her? Hag is a tactical killer who depends on her traps to defend certain areas like gens, hooks, and she's especially so strong with camping. If she hooks someone in the basement, that person is dead against a good Hag. That person is gone. Got him. Bye bye. I know there is a lot of people who know how to counter Hag and play against her, but trust me, when the team are in a bad situation and the Haggies have like 4-3 gens on that side, that game is GG. But still, her only weakness is against Swift, because a very well coordinated team will be like, yo guys, she have traps there, you go and remove all her traps while I'm doing gens. So Hag against Swift is not that strong. Next up, we move on down a tier to Pinhead. His potential to be a decent killer, and sometimes he can be very overpowered. It depends on the killer and the survivors. But we are talking here about top tier players. Pinhead against rank 1 survivors is not that good actually, especially when they are communicating with each other. All you need is someone on the box and someone take the chase, and you have 2 other people on generators, so he's pretty much weak against a good Swift. But against solo survivors, he's an absolute pain in the ass. Next, we have the Cannibal. The Cannibal is a killer that's extremely good at camping. All you need to do is find a survivor, down them, hook them, then pick your chainsaw, boom, that survivor is gone. He's very good at securing kills, but what about a different playstyle? What can a real Baba main do? His chainsaw can insta-down survivors, you can break pallets and walls really quickly, he's very good with tunneling, and body blocking against him is highly effective. With some of his best add-ons, his chainsaw give him a very significant advantage. Highly skilled cannibals is on a completely high different level. They will do flicks, they will do mind games, making some certain loops very unsafe against him. But still, his only weakness is jungle gyms and windows. Next on the list we have the Trickster. Same thing with him, he's very good at camping and securing kills, but when it comes up to chase, he's very slow. When you have to reload at the locker to get your powers, he's weak against jungle gyms and shacks. The places when Trickster can be dangerous is around short loops and dead zones. If a Trickster do catch you off guard, you are pretty much fucked. So yeah, that's the Trickster. Next, we have your boy Legion. A Legion is one of the most hated killer in the game. Survivor hate going against him. So, Legion powers depends on group up survivor, where he can use his frenzy to go to one to another and injure all of them. He's very good at securing hits and injured survivors. This all include deep wounds, which means survivors have to mend, then heal. Also, he have some add-ons that make mending take a lot longer, and usually all Legion mains play with Thanatophobia, Sloppy Butcher to make it even worse. But survivors that are smart and know how to counter Legion, they will just split up and make it very hard for Legion to catch up. Moving on to the Doctor. Doctor is an M1 basic attack style killer, which means he needs to catch up with you and hit you. Doctor comes up with anti-loop power that make looping against him very hard. But the reason why the Doctor is stronger than the upcoming killer, it's because he has a unique synergy with skill checks perks and other specific perks. So with Doctor you can make Merciless Storm and Huntress Lullaby a pain in the ass. That makes survivors spend extra 20 seconds on each gen, which is huge by the way. There's a lot of combination who works really well on Doctor, and if you are creative, his add-ons allow variety of different play styles, so you can be strong and creative in many certain ways. But you're still an M1 killer who don't have a lot of mobility, and facing good survivors will be a little bit challenging for you. So moving on to Ghostface, and he's going to be the last killer in the B tier. I know that a lot of Ghostface fans will come at me in the comments and say, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Ghostface is strong, Ghostface is OP, he should be like A tier. I mean, come on, let's be honest guys. I want you to be honest with me for the first time. How many times since the last update you played against Ghostface? Go in the comment and tell me how many times. For me, I rarely go against Ghostface, and when I go against him, usually I don't use Spine Shield, but my teammates always use it. So he's very predictable, since in this update you can see what killer are you facing in the loading screen. I mean, even though he's a decent stealth killer, your strength on Ghostface comes from the fact that you can insta down survivors, if you can catch them off guard of course. But against rank 1 survivors, aka Swift, believe me, you just can't. You can't play Ghostface and play like a normal stealth killer. He's just not that good. That's why nobody played him anymore. Maybe in the future, when they do the meta shake up and nerf Spine Shield, maybe he will rank up a little bit more higher. Moving on to the column C, and the first killer in C is Wraith. The Wraith is the most easiest killer to learn in Dead by Daylight. He's fun to play, he have stealth, he have mobility, his add-ons is quite strong, you do a lot of perks combination with him. But as any M1 killer, he struggle against high ranked survivors. As simple as that, the Wraith. Next, we have the Clown. Clown is a simple killer. He have a knife, he can throw these bottles that slow survivors or speed you up. Now this bottles is actually really good. Clown, when it comes to 1v1, he's an absolute monster. His anti-loop abilities is undeniable. He makes small and safe loops into completely dead zones. But in loops that have windows and very safe pellets, his bottles can't be useful that much. Usually when I play Clown, I barely use the pink bottles because it's pretty much useless. Instead, I will use the yellow bottles with an add-on called Cigar Box. You probably know that add-on. To get the extra speed boost from yellow bottles and to get aura reading when you enter the smoke. That's help a lot with looping because you can see behind walls. I guess that's all I have to say about the clown. Simple killer, simple power. So yeah, clown. Next, the nightmare. Freddy. Freddy is the killer that everyone forgot that he exists. So basically, survivors begin the game as awake, and then they fall asleep every minute. They can sometimes fall asleep faster if they get hit or even a certain add-on is used. Survivors can snap each other to stay awake or use cloaks. Survivors passively need to waste a little bit more time to stay awake, so not a big deal. If they stay awake, Freddy teleport ability is much more slower and they are completely immune to his snares and fake pellets. And even when survivors fall asleep, his power is not that good actually. His snares is pretty much useless, survivors can avoid them easily. His fake pellets maybe can fool some newer survivors, but against high rank survivors, it's just useless. Man, he's just so sad, and people used to play him when the servers were messed up, so they can hit you from miles. That's why people used to play Freddy, for my opinion. But now, when dbdmobile fixed the servers, he's gone. Nobody play him anymore. D tier. Oh god, let's go. And right after Freddy, we have the legend, the myth, the superstar, Myers, the Shape. Now don't get me wrong, I love playing as Myers, but from my point of view, he's the worst killer in the game. You start the game being undetectable, you need to stalk survivors, then get to tier 2, then stalk again to finally get to tier 3. The reason why Myers is stronger than the upcoming killers is because of his add-ons, and one of them sticks out in particular that makes his power much more threatening. The Tombstone Fragment, the purple add-ons that makes him insta-kill survivors when you reach tier 3. This is the reason why Michael don't rank up the worst killer in the game. And now we move to Sadako. Sadako is an interesting killer. She's stealthy, but she have a visual indicator that survivors can pick at the start of the game, so they know that they are playing against Sadako. She's good with teleporting around the map, she's good when it's come to securing hits. I personally enjoy playing against her, but sadly she's not enough and she ranked among the weakest killers in the game. Last but not least, we have the Trapper. Even with his both eerie add-ons, his traps is very easy to avoid, especially against high-ranked survivors. But he's still fun to play, and there's no harm in when you play Trapper from time to time. Next, we have the Pig. And the fact that I barely go against a pig explains why she's the weakest killer in the game. Nobody wanna play her. In the last 4 months, I only faced one pig, and only one, and felt bad about her, not gonna lie. It just broke my heart. She needs a serious buff. And when I do play against a pig, I go against this boop the snoot type of killer. So yeah, that was my killer still list. If that don't sit right with you and have better ideas, I will be more than glad to hear it in the comment section down below. And again, thanks for watching. See you next time.